Hi, Daniel here. I often get asked, but can I be hypnotized? Or people say, I've got too strong a will, or I've been to see a hypnotist in the past and I don't think anything happened. And my usual response is that people's experiences vary greatly. What one person thinks or feels is a deep and meaningful experience, for others just seems like a little trick, or even that nothing happened at all. But I want to share a story, and I don't think that this is going to be true for everyone, but it's quite an interesting story. One of my clients recently had been to see a hypnotist back in the 80s for weight loss, and nothing had happened. And she came away very discouraged. She didn't bother approaching a hypnotist again for, well, decades, I suppose. And eventually she got in touch with me. And so we did this session, and I do all my sessions remotely online. And she was lying on her bed for this session. And while we were just talking about her situation and what she wanted to accomplish, she noticed that her dog was whining outside the door. And I could hear it as well. It was quite loud. It was one of those little pocket-sized dogs that's full of yap. Anyway, she let it into the room and it settled down on the end of the bed. And I said, well, we'll just continue. And she said, yeah, it won't make any noise at all. Guaranteed. It'll just settle down. It won't do anything. Anyway, so to cut a long story short, I took her into a trance. She was lying there out to the world, but still responsive and listening to me, following my instructions. And suddenly, this dog went ballistic. It went absolutely bonkers. It was right next to her head on the bed. I could see it bouncing up and down, trying to get her attention. It was yapping and barking and whining. And she didn't respond. And I was almost worried because I don't normally stress test my instruction that any noises inside or outside the room are just going to help them relax even more. But this dog was giving that instruction a workout, and I was worried. I thought, has she died or gone into a coma or something weird? Anyway, so I just continued. And after about 4 or 5 minutes, the dog finally settled down and shut up and lay down on the end of the bed again. And I just continued the session. And she was just lying there, no response at all. Towards the end of the session, I mentioned a cookie that she had left on a plate next to her bed. And I'd told her that she would find the taste and even the thought of the cookie repulsive. And all that happened during the session, and I was wondering, how deep is she? And so I counted her out on 5. You'll be wide awake, alert, ready to carry on. I hit number 5. She sat up, and almost jokingly, I said, I hope the dog wasn't too annoying. And said, oh, I hope he didn't make any noise during that. And then, without any further instruction, she reached over to that cookie, took a tiny little bite, and gave the rest to the dog. I think that lady was quite deeply under. And as I say, that's not what everyone can expect, but it does go to show that sometimes your expectations can lead you astray, and that it can be a powerful experience even for people that don't think that they can be hypnotized. Thanks.